Haley is an actual child that Rachel Sperry, who is the author of this particular program, had to deal with. She was 4 years old. She had been in 3 foster care situations, had been bounced out of 4 preschools when she came to Rachel. And every day she came in, and you know what she said? I'm going to scratch your eyes out. Rachel would say, good morning, Haley. I'm going to scratch your eyes out. So Rachel was kind of intimidated by that, and any of you who have dealt with any children that have been in a trauma background know that they have really strong energy and really strong feelings. And so she asked her co-workers, what can I do with this child who wants to hurt me every single day? And what she found out was she needed to have a relationship with Haley. So she kept at it, and it took her a long time. It took her about 6 months of watching her and trying to relate to her and understanding the raw feelings that were behind the behavior and how hurt this child was and why she was acting the way she did. And she finally figured out by watching her that when Haley was triggered to be as angry as she is and was, she needed something to calm herself down. And the thing that she did was she wanted her feet scratched. And if you ever deal with a child that has had some sort of trauma, there's something that needs to happen sensory-wise. They have a lot of sensory issues. And when she did that, she would stick her foot out to have her foot scratched. So how Rachel got to go with Haley was she went to a store and bought a plain old back scratcher. But what she told Haley was she had a very, very special friend that made this foot scratcher for her. Long story short, because she took the effort and the energy to relate and connect with Haley, Haley at the end of preschool was adopted by the last foster family, and she went to kindergarten, and inside her backpack was her foot scratcher, and with her IEP and some sort of behavior plan, telling the new teacher that when she starts to get upset, she's going to want her feet scratched. Haley has been successful in her school year and in her school performances over the years. But that's what happened. That's why Rachel started this program. She noticed the feelings. She gave her a limit. I know that you are angry, but you may not hurt me. What can we do to help you with your mad? And then they came up with a series of things. And one of the prompts was, scratch your feet. So that's the story of Haley. Flip It can be used for targeted interventions, for a specific child, or everyday minor challenges and conflicts with one or multiple children. It's best practice made simple. It is strength-based. It's common sense. Effective, portable, easy to remember, easy to share, applicable in a variety of situations, and like I said, 4 simple steps. Here they are. The heart, feelings. You're going to gently talk with children about their feelings and their emotions and how you are seeing them. Limits, your hand up. You may not do this. You may not hurt me. You may not throw toys. You may not hurt somebody else. Loving and simple limits. We don't want to yak them to death. We want to just tell them a simple limit. Inquiries. I know that you're angry. You may not break the toys. What can you do instead of breaking the toys? And prompts. How about if we rip up some paper? Or how about if we breathe deeply to relax? Or how about if we scratch your feet? And here's the icons. And I did talk about this in the beginning. It can experience flipper 10 minutes or even less. And sometimes if a child is used to it, they'll stop at the second step. And when we're dealing with feelings and limits, if you have a toddler, that's where you want to start. Child development-wise, toddlers cannot problem solve. They're not regulated enough to problem solve. But we want you to start with feelings with them. They need a feelings vocabulary. Children who are frequently flipped become excellent problem solvers. And they develop healthy coping skills for life. On a personal story, I have a 2.5-year-old grandson who calls me Frey Grandma. Okay? And I have been doing problem solving with him in these steps for a while, to the point where his mother will say, "What does Frey Grandma say?" And he'll says, "Frey Grandma says, Charlie, we have a problem. How are we going to fix it?" 2.5. So if you start it early and you're consistent with it, it works. It's not the only strategy we want you to use. It's one that we give you in a toolbox. It works great with other strategies that you have, and it requires consistency, not magic. But here's a caveat. For children with more severe emotional needs, you need to call in extra support. And that would be your mental health consultant. It considers the root causes of the behavior, but it does not center on the functional assessment process. That's where you have a consultant come in and they observe the child and what they're doing and what their triggers are, what happens before the behavior, what happens during the behavior, and how the behavior is reinforced by the consequences. All right, relationships are the foundation for all kinds of flippant needs. And every strategy is only as good as the relationship that it's built on. So here's our pyramid. What do we see here? Relationships, 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 relationships. And then at the top is your flip it. So if I were to come into your classroom and I were to attempt to flip a child that was having a problem and I had no relationship with your child, what would the odds be of me doing it successfully? No. I'm a stranger. I'm not invested. And I'm not connected. So this is why this is a real good relationship process. We learn best from people who understand us. All right, think of your safe person when you were growing up, or even now. Who is your safe person and why? So take the Post-it note and write down some of the things that you think about when you think about the safe person in your life.